Hey everyone, Damien here, your YouTube friend and comic book community YouTube friend. I have an announcement I'm very psyched to make of a new community crossover event. We will be having a community discussion of All-Star Superman by the legendary Grant Morrison and the semi-legendary Frank Quitely. Some people say the seminal modern Superman story. I've got actually 13 people who've agreed to join me on this. There's tons of other people I would have liked to ask, but 13 is a nice number. 14 counting me. And we'll be discussing each individual issue. A different person or channel will take an issue at a time every 2 days. And we'll have a little intro and a little outro, so to speak, or a little discussion at the end, or maybe lots of discussions at the end, I hope. So I am really grateful to the people who agreed to join, and I will tell you who they are now, and I will list them all down below. You can make sure you're subscribed to everybody. The community's gotten so big, sometimes we miss people. And it'll be kicking off next Saturday, September 20th, with issue 1 being talked about or discussed, reviewed, whatever, pondered by ReadEmSteven, who has agreed to handle the issue 1 position, which may be the most uncomfortable one. But Steven is one of the biggest Superman fans I know here, so I was really eager to get him in on this. And so that'll be great. He's done so many good videos talking about Superman already. And then issue 2, so the first issue is called Faster. And each one is kind of a chapter that's mostly a standalone story, plus part of a continuing exploration and leading up to a big ending for Superman. So chapter 2 is called Superman's Forbidden Room, and that will be covered by Terrence, Mr. ComicKkrakk, up in Canada. And so he'll be doing it Monday, September 22nd. And then I'm really excited that Tony ynotart will be joining us to do Sweet Dreams Superwoman, Chapter 3, on September 24th. And then September 26th, Chapter 4, the Superman Jimmy Olsen War, will be brought to us by CloudedJourney, an intelligent guy, whether or not he's doing rum with his reviews. It'll be really exciting to see his take on it. Mattais Lava, one of my greatest friends in Sweden, because I only have 2 friends in Sweden, Mattais and Jokum Comic Center. But I love Mattais, so I look forward to him covering The Gospel According to Lex Luthor on September 28th. Chapter 6, Funeral in Smallville, will be from Shannon, Solid 4ST Bend down in Tennessee, I believe. Really psyched to see his take on it. He's an old school DC guy, so with deep comic book knowledge in general and a lot of knowledge about art. So that's going to be really exciting. Carlos Infante over in Mexico City will be handling the chapter called Being Bizarro, Chapter 7, and he will do that on October 2nd. And Carlos is a huge Superman fan too, and really thinks a lot about things. And so it'll be really great to have him do it. And then I was super psyched that LahRasa said yes over in England via Czechoslovakia, I think. I hope I haven't got that part wrong, but she's definitely in England. And she's going to do Chapter 8, Us Do Opposite, a chapter taking place on the Bizarro world, or Grant Morrison's idea of the Bizarro world. Chapter 9, Curse of the Replacement Superman, will be from my only German friend, Earl Grey, who has a great eye for art and always has his own very unique take on things, so I really look forward to his approach to it. Neverending, Chapter 10, will be from our one and only Roger 69501, our man from Puerto Rico. One of my great friends in the YouTube community. He's been there since the very beginning with me, and he's a pillar of our community, in my opinion. So he'll be doing that Neverending Chapter 10 on October 8th. One of the great newer relative, I guess he's been on maybe for a year now, I don't know. CleverPresents, Devin, down in Texas. A future director, movie star, screenwriter, at least screenwriter, I know. I think that's his most serious ambition. A student down in Texas, always does fantastically interesting edited videos. Talent out the wazoo. He'll be doing Chapter 11, Red Day Sun. And finally, I hope she won't mind me picking her as the anchor at the end. Audrey, First Family of Comics, used to be known as a comic book mom. Another pillar in my mind, one of the great people in the community who I've always just loved every time she has a video out. She'll be doing Supermen in Excelsis, the final chapter. So that's... I do want to say to all of you involved, I'm sorry I didn't send you a final schedule. It was so hard finding a way to communicate with each person. Google doesn't, or YouTube doesn't have this efficient personal messaging system anymore. Personal messages seem to sometimes make it to people and sometimes not. And I can't seem to do everyone through Gmail either. So anyway, if you have a problem with anything I've scheduled for you, let me know. We'll work something out. But that's the rough schedule for now. They're coming out every 2 days, so if someone needs to do a day early or a day late, it won't be a big deal. And everyone is just going to do whatever they want with their issue, what they want to say, go into broader issues, focus on that issue, talk about something else, talk about collecting, art, whatever. And in addition to these, because I said 14 people counting myself and Matt, Wednesday Serial, will do a intro hangout the day before ReadEmSteven starts. So hopefully on Friday, the 19th of September, if we can schedule that. Otherwise, maybe Thursday, the 18th. And we'll just talk in general, trying to give people some context before we start this. I hope some of you, if maybe you haven't read this or you'd like to reread it, might read it along with us. I just recently reread it in a digital version, and somewhere I have some of the issues. I also have bought a library editions, which I'm going to read along with. I bought all the issues once upon a time, and then I gave them away. But I really loved it digitally, and that's not always true with a lot of books. They're better physically, but this one worked really well digitally for me too. And the colors really popped and everything. So anyway, however if you'd like to read along, that would be great. So Matt, Agent 42, not Agent 42Q, Wednesday Serial, and I will kind of try to set some kind of background for it the day or two before ReadEmSteven really kicks this off. And then probably Matt and I and anyone else who would like to join us will try to do a hangout at the end. And maybe if people want to send me questions that we should discuss about Superman, about All-Star Superman, about Grant Morrison, we'll use those to bounce off of. And I'll mention some of this stuff later. And I'm going to start a playlist, so you can find my playlist. This will be the first video on the playlist, and I'll add on each video as it goes along. I would have loved to... There's about 40 or 50 people who I think are great people on YouTube here, talking about comic books on a regular basis. And I tried to get as many people who hadn't been part of one of these crossovers before, and I think I got a lot, and I got people, who are just a really interesting group. But after this is done, if someone thinks of some other community projects, start it, do it. I included Matt. Originally I told Matt he couldn't be in it, and he was really bummed. Matt's been in every other community crossover event. He's the through line from the first one that Ghost Critics started with the Watchmen, to the X-Men one that Matt did himself, to the Hush group one, to the Punk Rock Jesus. And Matt is always one of the best. I mean, he always comes up with something different than everyone else. But I really wanted to include the newer people, and I really wanted to include ReadEmSteven, who has been in one other before. But anyway, so that's why Matt and I are going to do the intro, so that there'll be that thread through all of these crossovers. Not to mention that Matt is just brilliant. But anyway, so I'm really psyched. Check out everything down below. If you're part of this, let me know if there's any problem with the schedule or you just hate the issue I've assigned to you. Although hating an issue, that could be interesting too. Yeah, and stay tuned. Subscribe to everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.